Atlas. Guys, the day is finally here. We are gonna go to Maggie Valley to Wheels Through Time to go get our WLDR engine. I thought it was a WLA engine. It has to get WLDR engine. I'm pumped, and I've got an entirely new crew. I fired everyone else. Craig, Dan, they're gone, and I replaced them with this young man named Atlas. Hey Atlas, he's a little camera shy. And this young man named Steele. What's up, Steele? I'm just kidding, these are my boys. I got some more boys. I got one more boy at home and a daughter, but we didn't bring them. So we're pumped. We're gonna go finally get the engine. Matt over there at Wheels Through Time has us. It's got some new stuff that they come. They have new stuff in all the time. They want to show us some new stuff. We'll pick up the engine. Also, I'm meeting my dad and my brother-in-law down there. It's gonna be a lot of fun. You guys are gonna love this. That is one of the best rainbows I've ever seen in my life.
That's the only.
Wow, look at it.
Baseball field.
Oh man, this place is cool, Atlas. Oh no, you're not gonna do that jump, are you? You're not gonna jump from one side of the bed to the other side of the bed, are you?
Can I?
Can you?
Can I?
Can you? Whoa! Alright, it's done. Oh, that's cool. That's a cool trip you got going on right there. And of course, when you're on a trip,
Let's go.
you gotta call your wife.
What?
But of course, she doesn't pick up the phone.
Oh.
You have a good time, Steele?
Yeah.
What's your best part about the trip?
I don't know.
We stopped at the gas station to fill up. How's the trip going?
Pretty good so far.
You guys have the dirtiest faces. You do. So we're in South Carolina right now, about to grab barbecue, waiting for my dad and brother-in-law, I guess is what this title is. So anytime you're in the South, if you're a northerner, you gotta go get barbecue. Oh, here's the wife. Okay, let's go see Jaja. Hey, Steele.
Hey, Lion.
Look at you with the camera.
We're men. We wear the same clothes every day. We don't need to change clothes.
Do it.
Hey, Lion. Hey. Oh.
Please bless us through our bodies. In Jesus we pray. Amen.
I don't know why it's always raining when I come here, but it is. But I'm always happy to be here.
Have you ever been here?
I've been here before. It's gonna be a lot of fun, guys. I don't think I saw this last time. Was this here?
Yeah. Let's fire it up, man.
Yeah, let's fire it up.
It's easy. All right, I want you to stand right here for me, okay? Okay, there's 2 steps. Go ahead, flip that switch for me. It's not gonna start just yet. Don't worry, okay. So you're gonna press down on that button as soon as the car starts. Thumb off the button. 3, 2, 1, go. Every small town in America would have had a little half-mile dirt track. That's what this was built for. Sliding sideways through your turns, 60 miles an hour. 4-cylinder overhead valve conversion kit. This would have been like a base Model A or a Model B. Thing starts better than most of my vehicles.
That's awesome. Now, when we got to Wheels Through Time, we found out that Matt was not gonna be here. He was out buying some cool bikes. So to help us out, we got his main man, Chris.
Good to see you.
How you doing?
Did you bring the rain with you?
I did, yeah. I always do that. I heard you got an engine for me.
We did. We'll walk back here, see if we can track it down for you.
Yeah, it's a good trip. It's beautiful outside.
It's amazing, dude. People have been pointing at that motor all day. Like, I know what this is. Is this Sean's motor?
Really?
Yeah. Because
awesome.
We pushed it out from the shop last night, so it'd be ready for you. It's been out here kind of so like people can see it, and people.
That's cool.
I know that engine.
So I can't wait to see the motor. But then you guys have some cool. You guys got some new stuff you want to show me. Is that right?
Yeah. We got a few new bikes we can show you. Fire up some stuff.
Yes.
And, so I want to know if you're getting your drag racing foot ready.
I need to.
Matt.
And then then don't tell Matt, but we got to scope out his drag race bike.
Oh, we can do that.
I need to look at the competition.
Don't tell him, but we'll
don't tell him. Yeah.
There you go, man.
Wow.
There you go.
That is insane.
Yeah, man, you really scored on this thing. I mean, incredible motor. To think you have a WLA, which, it's a great thing anyway, but then to end up with WLDR.
Yeah, that's so cool. This thing looks amazing. I mean, I know Matt spent a lot of time on this.
He
thing.
did. You know, I mean, a lot of hours went in there, and you brought it to the right place. I mean, you know, Matt and everything that he learned from his dad. I mean, they're the best when it comes to this kind of stuff. But yeah, everything cleaned up, ready to go. Got your brand new generator. You know, Dale Cashman rebuilds those.
Now,
Does a fantastic
as he
job.
mentioned, is this going to be faster than his?
You know, he hasn't said anything. But the thing about it is when Matt builds an engine, you know, because he's built, you know, he's got his race bikes, and he used to build race bikes for everybody else, and like, you know, he builds them to win,
right?
You know, and so it's just the thing that's how he likes to build stuff. He builds.
So what happens when there's two motors he built to win? Which one's going to win? That's the big question.
Then it all comes down to just how quick you are off the line.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Oh, cool.
Love videos.
Your first time here?
Yeah.
This place is pretty cool.
Yeah.
How long have you been here?
30 minutes.
30 minutes. You're gonna be here all day, man. There's so much cool stuff.
And these guys banked at 50 degrees. These guys running these motorcycles in the early years, average lap speeds of like 75, 80 miles an hour. But at the end, you know, well over 100 miles an hour average lap speeds. You know.
What happens when they wreck? Are they just like all splinters?
Oh yeah, I mean, so that was really kind of what brought board track racing to an end in America. They originally called these racetracks motor dromes, and then when that started to happen, the newspapers
Murder drones.
Murder drones, you know, and so that's kind of what brought board track racing, you know, to its end.
We need men like us to bring it back.
That's right. Well, listen,
And take it even faster.
You know, the Wall of Death. That's where the Wall of Death came from. Funnest thing I've ever done, though.
That's awesome.
Yeah. This year's 20 years of Wheels Through Time, and so we're picking 20 of the rarest and most exceptional bikes in the museum. We're going to run them all in one day, and that's one of the ones because it's a really cool machine. These are what they call flexi racers. You know, sidecar racing. But you know, in standard sidecar racing, the sidecar sits still and the bike sits still. You know, there's no pivot between the two. What's cool about these bikes is it actually pivots with the motorcycle, so you could actually run these things, and when you turned in the corner, you actually still got that lean, and it allowed the sidecar to flex with it. So these are Harley-Davidson jack pine racers. Before dirt bikes were invented, guys were building their own dirt bikes out of just standard road model Harleys. They had a jack pine run every year. The most popular one was up in Michigan, 300 or 400 miles through the woods, and they would do solo rides, which the green bike and the yellow and black bike, those were solo riders. So guys would put big knobby tires on them, you know, cut the fenders out. And this guy's job was just to ride the bike. And then this guy was the navigator. So he has the odometer here, he can monitor the miles. And then they would have a little roll of paper that had their directions on it. And so then he would scroll through the directions, you know, and it might say 500 feet and then hang a left, you know, then, you know, 2-3 miles and then hang a right.
And then they'd be yelling at each other while they're doing
back and forth. You can see there's a great picture there, you know, the two guys trying to get one of these sidecars out of the mud, you know, as they're traipsing through the woods. It's really, there's so many cool things from this era that a lot of people have forgotten about that would be, you know, really cool to see guys back into this again.
Now, Chris, what's your other full-time job?
So I'm actually a pastor. And so I'm here during the week and then pastor a church on the weekends about 3 miles from here.
That is cool. That's very cool. There's a bunch of WLAs and WLs and stuff.
Dale was he loved the Harley 45s and the flatheads. One of every year of production here. You've entered into the world of antique motorcycles, and it's like once you're into that world, it doesn't let you go.
Right.
you just want more and more.
Right, exactly.
Oh, you can look around. I mean, this is what it does to you.
Right. You know, I never actually introduced. Did I introduce you guys? This is my dad. You guys remember him from the BMW video, and this is Jason. You remember him also from the BMW video, and then that's my nephew Garland, and then my boys Atlas and Steel. You find anything cool, Steel?
No.
No.
You know, here it is, 47 knucklehead, all original paint. You know, just really cool example of you know, a period bike. Everything that we look for, kind of when we're looking for originality, you know, you'll see some bikes in here that have been restored, but most of the time that's because when they came in, that they'd had a bad restoration in the past and the originality was all gone. You know, so we'll bring it back and put it back how it was in showroom condition. But anytime something like this comes in, it's always going to stay like this because, you know, we're all about the story that the originality tells. You know, so it's like each wear mark on the fenders and kind of things like that. You know, you would never take a bike like this and restore it.
Tell us the starting sequence of a knuckle.
Okay, so same thing with all these old bikes. Now, this one can be a little precocious from times, especially when you got a camera watching it. Nice. But 9 times out of 10 with all these old bikes, fuel on, 3 prime cricks with the choke fully engaged, switch on, choke all the way off, and then it should fire up.
That is so cool. That sounds so good too.
It really does, and again, it's like, we really didn't do anything. We haven't been into the motor. Matt rebuilt the carburetor, but other than that, it's just all original machine as it was when the guy parked it 25 years ago.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys didn't even clean it.
No. Yeah, and again, we never will.
If anybody asked Dale the question of what his favorite bike in the museum was, his standard answer was the last one he rode.
Okay.
If you actually forced him to pick one, this bike was always at the very top of his list. 37 Crocker, Hemi head Crocker. In my opinion, one of the most beautiful motorcycles ever built. Al Crocker had a guarantee that if you raced his bike against a Harley or an Indian and you got beat, he would buy the motorcycle back. And as far as the story goes, he never had to buy one back.
We're going with Chris. We're gonna fire up the Indian 4-cylinder. I've actually never heard one run. I've seen them, and these things have blown up in value. I've seen these things going at auction for like for $140,000. A couple of years ago, these were worth like 40, 50,000?
Yeah, I mean, it's really amazing how quickly they picked up in value. You know, one of the things about the 4-cylinders, you know, they were really reliable, lots of power, lots of bottom end torque. Like, you barely have to roll in the throttle on these things when you're out riding these, and they really just kind of take off. But you'll notice if you watch like the Motorcycle Cannonball, almost every single year, the winner is on a 4-cylinder.
Really?
You know, because they were just built for that kind of endurance and longevity.
Everyone always thinks that the American motorcycle brands are all V-twins. That's not the case.
Indian 1901, first bike, Harley 1903. And I always explain to people, you know, that early on, because they're both kind of pioneering in motorcycling, they each pick a direction to go, and that's just what they went with and stayed with, because there was no set precedent on where the controls were going to be. So on a standard Harley, you're right, you know, throttle here, spark advance here, shifter on the left. And Harley's clutch pedal was toe to go. So Indian did the exact reverse of that. Throttle here, spark advance here, shifter on the right hand side, because you're always shifting with your non-throttle hand, and their rocker clutch was heel to go. You know, so if you were a guy that switched back and forth between bikes, you always had to be mindful of what you were doing, because everything was the exact reverse of what you had done on the bike previously to that. You just, so much bottom end power that you just, you know, first gear, you just barely roll into the throttle and it just takes right off. You know, it's an incredible riding machine.
So every year Wheels Through Time gives away a bike, and this year they're giving away this amazing bike. And they rebuilt this one completely, and it's amazing, it's beautiful. I'll let Chris tell you more about it. It's a 37 Knucklehead. That's the first year?
Not first year,
second year.
Yeah.
In reality, normally when people give away bikes, we don't give away very expensive bikes. When they give away bikes, they give away, this is a $100,000 motorcycle. Tell us about this bike.
Yeah, so 37 is kind of one of those really desirable years, because it was the year after Harley had kind of figured everything out. You know, it's interesting because 36, they came out with a Knucklehead, overhead valve engine, you know, gave a lot more power and a lot more performance to the motorcycle, but they were still working out the kinks, so they really didn't advertise the 36. They really started advertising it in 37. And this is, again, one of the most original raffle bikes we've ever done. This is all original parts and pieces. It came from a friend of Dale's who had been collecting these bits for 30 years. You know, he had been on the lookout for all the right pieces for 30 years, and then Dale purchased that pile, and then Matt set to work and putting this bike together. All original machine. This color is really special because it's a one-year only color. They only offered Delphine blue in the second half of 1937, and we always try to do one thing to kind of step it up. You know, this bike really doesn't need anything added to it to make it even more special than it already is, but this original on the original bike would have been a water slide decal, but we always have this done in hand gold and silver leaf to make it really kind of pop and extra special. But so cool. 61 cubic inch overhead valve Knucklehead engine. This thing's ready to truck down the road. You know, whoever wins it in November, they can climb on it and ride it home.
So what you got?
Cards.
Motorcycle cards?
Yeah, some lady gave me it.
That's so cool.
She said there was one rare card. I can't figure which
There's
one.
one what?
Like super rare card. Here, you would know which one.
Hey, what'd you guys get? Ooh, oh, that what you got, Harley? Ooh, that's so cool. Wow, wow, that's so cool. Ooh, I like that one. All right, Chris just told me that his bike's sitting outside, so let's go see his bike. He says he's got a black 45 out here. Hey, what's that little bike?
That is a bike that somebody custom built You know, probably back in the 30s or 40s in Excelsior, they just chopped the frame down and crammed that engine into.
That's like the original mini bike.
Yeah, it really is. You know, it's a pretty cool little thing.
That is cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, so 1950 Harley 45. He literally took us back to the shop. We rolled it inside and he handed us some tools. He's like, take everything off of it. I'll come back in a couple hours when you're done. So we stripped this bike down and helped him put it all back together. He rebuilt the motor and ended up getting this machine from him. And a really cool bike for me just because of working on it alongside Dale. Yeah. It's called 007 because it has a super low serial number. This is 50 WL1007. So it was the 7th one that rolled off the line in 1950.
Oh, that's so cool.
You know, this is when we go out riding, this is the bike I take. And up here we have a lot of, off the parkway, there's you know, probably 40 or 50 miles of old logging roads, you know, just dirt roads, and we'll take these bikes and go ride up there.
Oh, cool.
And, you know, so they get beat and banged around and get dusty and dirty, and but that's what they were built for, you know. 1950s and 40s, I mean, they didn't have a lot of paved roads. Right. These guys were riding these things through the woods and you know, down gravel and dirt roads.
Dad, that's the trailer for the for that Harley.
Yeah, so it's got a
Hey, stop eating into my video.
Yeah, so this hooks up, and then it's got a camper in the back.
This is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, so you got a little, you know, living room area and then a bed up front.
And Matt said I could ride it once they get it fixed, so.
You gotta wait for the rain to cut off.
Get ready for it. Hey, Steele, you wanna go see the race bikes? Yeah, upstairs?
Sure.
Come on, Atlas.
Okay, Dad.
All right, come on, buddy.
Friction drive. So when the motor's spinning, this is turning here, and you would adjust this. You can see as I turn it, how it moves that friction. Yeah. So then it would actually turn it back in. And that's how you would control how much friction is going to the rear wheel, and then throttle and timing over here. You know, pretty rare bikes. I mean, there's not a lot of these still around, especially ones that are operating and running. But it's here because this Carter car functions the same way. You squat down and look at that mirror, you can see it has the same thing. See, it has the big brass plate and then the friction drive that would push in and out to put the control to the rear wheels.
It's so cool. Yeah. There we go. That's what we're going to be needing soon.
Oh yeah, iron shoe.
Iron shoe or slick shoe.
This was Dale's first WR. He built a long time ago, and this is a cool bike because really well-known flat track guy Jay Springsteen, Dale taught him how to do a hand clutch on this bike. This is the one you're going to be up against right here.
Oh, this is it?
This is it.
Oh, I thought I was going to put me up against one of those uglier ones downstairs.
No, this is the bike right here. 39 WLDR. This one's kind of cool because it has these big tanks on it.
Yeah.
These are what they call Molinar tanks. A guy in Hammond, Indiana, Harry Molinar, who was a Harley dealer. And this was kind of like his thing. He liked to take Harley tanks and he'd take a couple sets of them, cut them, and spread them out, you know, just have more capacity.
All right, so we just got done seeing a bunch more stuff. Obviously not everything in the museum. You can spend days and days and days there. You can come here every week for the rest of your life and still not see everything. But now we're gonna load up our motor, get it all safe and snug in the back of the truck, and then we got a little surprise for you. So you're gonna, a little surprise for my kids too. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Now you gotta do is just drop it in, you're ready to go, right?
Just drop it in, you're ready to go.
Can I just like leave?
All right, Steve's gonna take a ride in this thing. He's gonna hold the camera. It's gonna be a lot of fun. No, turn it around, show your face.
You like that?
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
It's pretty good, man. You're pretty good at that.
It's a lot of. This is one of our favorite things to do. You know, it's like when kids get in here and you know, because a lot of times some of them never ridden on a bike before. Yeah. So to get them their first taste and you know, try to get them hooked on old bikes.
That's cool. Too fat.
Well, it's gonna. physics. Matt's really good. He can do like donuts in a tight little circle.
Really?
I've not gotten to that point yet.
Hey, Garland. So all this fun hanging out with my family and hanging out with these old classic motorcycles reminds me of one of my favorite Bible verses, James 4:7. Submit therefore to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. All right, get ready, Garland. You like that?
He's still trying to figure it out, I think.
Well, that's us getting the WLDR, WLDR, right?
Yeah,
the WLDR engine, and we had a great time at Wheels Through Time. When are you guys open?
Yeah, so we're open Thursday through Monday, closed on Tuesday and Wednesday at 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day. You know, so got a lot of fun stuff, firing up old American motorcycles every single day. So come check it out.
Guys, if you got to make it out to Maggie Valley and check this place out. If you, at the very least, go check out the Wheels Through Time YouTube channel. Just next level stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about. These guys actually do know what they're talking about. So if you really want to get that history and get that story, this is where you want to go and check it out. See you guys later. Don't forget to subscribe and check out Wheels Through Time. You like that? That was fun?
Would it be easier to tip without a person in there?
Yeah, because it'd be lighter.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, a lot
So
easier.
there's like no one in there.
Hey, Garland, did you have fun in that motorcycle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Dad, the rainbow's still here.